January 26th, 1945. Late afternoon. Near Holtzvier, France. Second Lieutenant Audie Murphy steps out of the tree line and stops cold. German soldiers are everywhere. They're spread across the frozen field in front of him. Some crouched low in the snow, others standing, rifles raised. A machine gun team is setting up near the edge of the woods. A half-track idles behind them, engine rumbling, exhaust hanging in the air. Audie Murphy is alone. His company has already pulled back under heavy fire. The order was to withdraw. Murphy stayed behind to cover the retreat, to slow the Germans down, to buy time. Now the Germans have found him. Murphy looks left. More infantry moving through the trees. He looks right. Open ground. No cover. No help coming. Behind him, an American tank destroyer burns. The crew abandoned it minutes earlier. Flames crawl along the hull. Smoke pours upward. Inside, the radio still works. The mounted machine gun is still intact. The Germans advance cautiously. They know the Americans are pulling back. They know this man is supposed to be dead or running. Instead, he's standing there, watching them. A German officer shouts an order. The soldiers spread out, forming a loose arc around Audie Murphy. They're trying to box him in. Close the distance. End it quickly. Murphy turns and climbs onto the burning tank destroyer. The metal is hot. The smoke burns his lungs. He doesn't care. He reaches inside the wreckage and grabs the radio handset. "Hold where you are," Audie Murphy says into the microphone. His voice is calm, almost flat. "I'll cover you." On the other end of the line, American soldiers hesitate. They can hear the gunfire. They can hear the engines. They know where Murphy is. Murphy releases the handset and grips the mounted machine gun. The Germans see what he's doing. Some of them shout. Others raise their weapons. A few start running. Audie Murphy opens fire. The machine gun roars to life, ripping across the field. German soldiers drop instantly. Rifles fall into the snow. Men dive for cover that isn't there. The Germans return fire. Bullets tear into the wreckage. Wood explodes from the trees. One round slams into Murphy's leg. He grunts, shifts his stance, and keeps firing. Audie Murphy doesn't leave the burning vehicle. He sweeps the gun left, then right. Short bursts. Controlled fire. He's not spraying blindly. He's picking targets. Men fall. Others crawl away, dragging the wounded. The Germans try to flank him. Murphy pivots and cuts them down. They try again. Same result. Smoke thickens around the tank destroyer. Flames lick higher. The heat is unbearable. Murphy stays where he is. For nearly an hour, Audie Murphy holds the field alone. Finally, the Germans break. They don't withdraw in formation. They scatter. Some run. Some crawl. Some don't move at all. Murphy releases the trigger and slumps against the wreckage. His leg is bleeding badly. His uniform is scorched. His hands are shaking now. But the retreat worked. Audie Murphy climbs down from the burning vehicle and limps back toward American lines. He has no idea that this moment, standing alone on a burning tank destroyer, firing into a superior enemy force, will earn him the Medal of Honor. Audie Murphy was born June 20th, 1925, in Kingston, Texas. A dust town, a handful of streets, no money, no safety net. The kind of place where boys grow up fast because there's no other option. Murphy was the sixth of 12 children. His father drifted in and out of their lives before disappearing entirely. His mother worked herself into exhaustion, trying to keep the family fed. When she died in 1941, Audie was 16 years old. He quit school and took whatever work he could find to support his younger siblings. Sharecropping, farm labor, anything that paid. He was small, 5 feet 5 inches tall, barely 110 pounds. Quiet, soft-spoken. He didn't look like a soldier. When the war came, the Army didn't want him. The Marines turned him down. Too small, too young. The Navy said no. The paratroopers laughed. Even the Army hesitated until he falsified his age. December 1942. Audie Murphy is finally accepted. He's 17. Basic training doesn't break him. Infantry school doesn't either. He learns fast, shoots well, moves instinctively, keeps his head when others don't. By 1943, Audie Murphy is in North Africa, then Sicily, then Italy. Each campaign strips away whatever hesitation he had left. He learns what German machine guns sound like. He learns how quickly men die. He learns that survival has nothing to do with size. By the time he reaches France in 1944, Murphy has already been wounded twice. He's earned medals, promotions, a reputation. The Germans learn his name. In January 1945, that reputation doesn't matter. Near Holtzvier, the German army is fighting a delaying action. They know they're losing the war, but they're not done killing. Every village, every tree line, every frozen field is contested. American units advance, Germans counterattack. The front line shifts by the hour. Audie Murphy is now a second lieutenant. He commands what's left of his platoon. Most of his men are exhausted. Some are wounded. Some are already gone. When the Germans attack, Murphy orders his men to pull back. He stays. He knows the terrain. He knows the enemy's approach routes. He knows that if the Germans break through here, they'll roll straight into the withdrawing company. So he climbs onto a burning vehicle and turns himself into a fixed position. The Germans don't realize what they're facing. They think it's a delaying action by a few stragglers. They think numbers will solve the problem. They think the American will run when the fire gets heavy enough. Audie Murphy doesn't run. For nearly an hour, German infantry push toward him and are driven back. Machine guns open up. Mortar rounds land nearby. Bullets punch into the wreckage inches from his body. Murphy keeps firing. At some point, the German attack collapses entirely. Orders stop coming. Units lose cohesion. The field goes quiet except for the crackle of fire and the wind moving through the trees. When American forces move forward again, they find German dead scattered across the snow, wounded crawling away, weapons abandoned. They find Audie Murphy limping back toward them, bleeding, smoke-stained, and furious that no one answered the radio sooner. What happened at Holtzvier becomes official record. What doesn't make the reports is how close it came to failing. How one bullet, one jam, 1 second of hesitation would have ended it. Audie Murphy is evacuated. His wounds are treated. He refuses to leave the front permanently. He will fight again. And again. And again. The fighting doesn't stop after Holtzvier. Audie Murphy returns to the line as soon as he's able. His leg is bandaged. His uniform is patched. He refuses reassignment, refuses rest, refuses anything that would take him away from his men. The war grinds on. By early 1945, Germany is collapsing, but it's still killing. Villages are taken one at a time. Roads are contested. Every advance costs lives. Murphy continues to lead from the front. He's wounded again. And again. Shrapnel. Bullets. Concussion. He keeps fighting. When the paperwork catches up, the scale of what he's done becomes impossible to ignore. For Holtzvier alone, Audie Murphy is recommended for the Medal of Honor. The citation is blunt. No drama. No embellishment. It states that he climbed onto a burning tank destroyer, used its machine gun to repel repeated German attacks, directed artillery fire by radio while wounded, and held the position until the enemy withdrew. It doesn't mention the heat. It doesn't mention the smoke. It doesn't mention how close he came to dying. On June 2nd, 1945, at the end of the war in Europe, Murphy stands at a ceremony and receives the Medal of Honor. He is 19 years old. By the time the war ends, Audie Murphy has earned every major American combat decoration for valor: the Medal of Honor, the Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars, the Legion of Merit, 2 Bronze Stars, 3 Purple Hearts, 4 in awards from France and Belgium. He is the most decorated American soldier of World War II. He doesn't look like it. He goes home to Texas. The crowds are loud. The headlines are large. The expectations are enormous. And Murphy doesn't know what to do with any of it. He suffers from nightmares. He sleeps with a pistol under his pillow. Loud noises make him flinch. He drinks too much. He avoids talking about the war whenever he can. Hollywood finds him anyway. They want his face, his story, his image. Murphy agrees, reluctantly. Acting becomes a way to survive, a way to stay busy, a way to outrun what follows him when things go quiet. He makes films. He plays cowboys. He even plays himself once, reenacting the war for an audience that can't imagine what it felt like to stand alone in a frozen field, with nothing but fire in front of you and Germans closing in. He never glamorizes it. He never pretends it was easy. Audie Murphy dies in 1971 in a plane crash at the age of 45. He's buried at Arlington National Cemetery. His grave is simple, no embellishment, no special treatment, just a name and the dates. Visitors still stop there, not because of the movies, not because of the medals, but because at one moment in January 1945, when everything went wrong, when retreat was the sensible choice, when surrender would have been understandable, Audie Murphy stayed where he was, disarmed, surrounded, and unwilling to move. That moment didn't win the war, but it saved lives. And sometimes, that's all history ever really asks of one person.